that there's actually
dude.
there's such a real path to the Super Bowl.
If we can just listen. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, because like from the gambling, I remember like y'all beat Buffalo already. So if Buffalo can just beat Denver for you, and then you can just beat up on either Houston or the Steelers, then you're there.
Bro, please let the Steelers win.
Here's the problem with that though. Drake May needs to have that playoff loss to come back even better. Drake May needs to have that playoff loss.
Arc.
He's not going to be Russell Wilson and win the Super Bowl in his first time.
Well, here's the thing. The game he played, that should have probably been his loss. But fortunately, our defense decided to be the most elite defense of the entire weekend, which I'm not going to argue against that. But...
Yeah, how did it feel to have the worst fucking game of the weekend?
How did we have the worst one? How is that possible?
My team was in it.
That is very funny. That is
you guys had one of the better games. It's crazy.
So funny. That is hysterical. And I mean, over on the other side of the bracket with the NFC, I mean, I'm looking at this, and as someone who hasn't really paid attention to football in a while, it's kind of crazy to see the entirety of the NFC West minus the Cardinals, because of course the Cardinals aren't there in the playoffs still. The Cardinals don't exist. They're just not. They're a fake franchise.
You know, the Super Bowl, what was it, 43 when they played the Steelers, fluke season, and then they had Carson Palmer in 2015, and everyone thought, okay, yeah, they're gonna beat the Panthers. They ended up getting their asses handed to them by 30 in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah,
just remember
Cardinals are kind of the retirement home of the NFL is what I like to call them.
That's just Arizona in general. Yeah. The Panthers could have hung 50 on them in the NFC Championship game, but they decided to be good sportsmen and knee the ball on their own 20 with 4 minutes to go.
That's pretty good. Phenomenal stuff.
I'm giddy.
It's Zay.
It's Zay, everyone.
Zay.
Let's go.
Hello, Zay. I love Zay. I love Zay.
Oh God.
Yay.
Oh God.
Giddy.
Hey, let go of the jersey. Let go of the jersey.
Let go of the jersey. Do not ruin the jersey, cat. Oh, what a sweet creature.
50 episodes. Yeah, Hunter. Yeah.
Oh,
50 episodes in.
Let's go. Amazing.
Everyone, welcome back. This is probably
whoa, Dex.
Whoa, hold on, Dex.
I love how I'm not informed.
No, you're not, for a good reason. Everybody, welcome back to another episode of For the Love of Pride. Join with me always, of course, Megalass, our guest host for this week, Gedster, and thankfully our guest this week, you know him, you love him. It's the one and only Dexatron. Dexatron, welcome to the podcast.
Why am I the fucking guest? People hear me talk enough on this fucking podcast. You want me to be the person who talks the entirety of it?
So Dex, you need to understand. Hunter informed me of this plan about 5 minutes ago.
Correct. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Because up until about maybe 20 minutes ago, we thought we were still going to do our original plan for this episode, which I'll say right now because it's being postponed maybe indefinitely. This was going to be a roast.
Yeah.
As you can tell, one person showed up, so we decided not to do it. Everyone else, again, this is not me throwing shade at anyone else. Everyone else is very busy.
Right.
Everyone else is very busy. Gedster is even busy. He's not going to be here for a very long time. So this could probably be a really short episode.
That's true. It's a short episode 50 to, round out the first half of the century of For the Love of Prod, which that's kind of sad. And I feel a little bit bad about me being the reason that y'all are going to have to cut it short. But I do have a little bit of a question about the initial plan for the roast. Did you three have roasts planned for each other?
I was going to riff something.
I'm sure I was probably going to make something up on the fly.
Guys,
I would say I have pages of material.
Yeah, I'm sure. Megalass, I'm sure is set. Like I could have
the only one who's prepared. Lass is the only one who's prepared.
Listen, I am at my best when I do things on the fly, as you are learning right now.
Interesting. But any way you slice it, Dexatron, you are this week's guest. Realistically, we should just be swapping places in the scene right now. But if that's too much work mid-episode, that's okay.
That definitely is. We're not doing all that.
It's definitely we're solid as is. You know what? Oh well.
We're doing it.
Gedster is gone.
Let's go! I'm the host. I am so powerful right now. I am so powerful right now.
We love it here. There it is. It's just full swapping.
Just full swapping everything. Now, I think it's even funnier because I don't think Dex is still put together that we made him set Panthers colors.
Yeah,
and that's why it was good to start with football talk.
Yep.
100% it was.
Yup. That is actually so fucking funny.
Oh god. And to be fair, this is fair because
wait, you guys are talking about like I just can't do this.
Okay.
Okay. Well, okay, wow. But the whole point is that the colors relate to the episode. So switch it back. Oh well, I guess this works.
Why not?
Whatever.
Dude, Dexatron said, "I'm the server admin, and don't forget it." Oh, that's funny. So, as is tradition, Dexatron, as you know, having hosted this show 49 times at this point, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into the esports scene and all that jazz? Yeah?
Fucking Hunter seems so fucking confused. He's supposed to be the one riding captaining this ship, and you just...
Hey, I'm in the top left. I don't know what to tell you.
Gedster has the hosting stick.
Look at me. I'm the host now.
Oh Lord have
what the fuck?
but yeah, Dex, we've heard you plenty, but go ahead, just give us a little introduction about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, fine. Here, so we're I have to write down the fucking chapters as well.
I think you've got some good material already. I think you got your clips.
Dude, we might have a YouTube short already. It's crazy.
We might have a couple.
Yeah, we have a couple.
Are we sure this just isn't a roast of me?
Probably not.
No. We're here to treat this as an actual episode.
Yeah,
dude,
I can give some behind the stage peeks into my roasts later if we want.
Here, funny enough. Well, if everyone backed out tonight, like I talked about this with Hunter and Mega, where we just do a pod review. I was gonna bring up during that if there's other times where we just struggled to find people, we just do the episode normally and just have one of us be the guest.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, -1 future episode, I suppose.
Listen. Hunter's been plotting this as I found in our DMs. Hunter's been plotting this since October, buddy.
Damn. I'm honored to have been even a tiny part of this, Hunter.
It has been what I have labeled as a contingency for a long time, waiting for the correct moment to where it made sense. And it almost happened like a month back when we were like, man, do we have an episode? Do we have a person for this? And then we got one like the day of, so we figured it out. So now we're here, but without further delay, Dex, because you're not going to get away with not answering all these questions.
No, I'm going to answer.
All right, well, go ahead. Tell us who you are and what you do in the esports industry.
So my name is Dexatron, and I am a caster for Rocket League and Overwatch. I have done some iRacing in the past. Very, very poor at it. I've only done the NASCAR stuff because that's what I know. And while I like F1, sorry, I don't care enough for it. I'm sorry, but those cars are not cars. They're just fucking computers on wheels. Man, NASCAR's not that far behind, but it's a brick, which is funny sometimes. But I mean, yeah. So you almost anyone probably know me for Overwatch more than Rocket League, considering I've done a lot more Overwatch than Rocket League. If that's not surprising, if that's surprising to anyone. I mean, I think I did 17 Rocket League casts last year. I think I ended up doing 147 Overwatch cast.
Yeah, just slight disparity,
Yeah. So, I also host this podcast. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it. called For the Love of Prod, but I mean it's small.
I haven't. No. Haven't really heard of it before, but it sounds like a pretty good podcast.
Yeah, I hosted with two of my best friends.
Oh, really?
They can be assholes sometimes.
Yeah, maybe we can have them out on as guests sometime too. You know, maybe we'll invite them on at some point.
Yeah, that person in the top left is normally the biggest asshole of the bunch.
Me when I lie through my teeth. Wait, hold
on. That is some lying. You were shooting the what is this?
Yeah, I don't know. You're trying to take the title away from Megalass right now. That's crazy.
I'm not even saying in terms of taking the title away from me. I'm just saying like Get is like an innocent soul. Get is always smiling and shit.
I'm not talking about Get.
Okay, he's in the top left.
Who was in top left? Oh,
I'm talking about myself for 49
he's normally in the top left, guys. Yeah. I picked up on that before the actual co-hosts did.
Oh, I see. He's giving me the green top.
You know, I can't wait to put out the tweet for this episode saying, hey, episode 50 goes live tomorrow. Joining us is guest Dexatron.
Oh, I'm going to reply to that immediately. We were saying this motherfucker tagged himself.
Throw him under the bus as much as we can. Oh, this is great.
Oh, we are so far off the rails and we've barely begun this episode.
Welcome to this fucking podcast.
Yep. Well, normally Dex and Mega both get us back onto the rails occasionally, so I'll be the...
Gedster, you have to be the person who gets us back on the rails.
What?
You think I'm going to do that?
I am.
You have to try.
Unreliable.
Because sometimes the person in the top left does try.
Tries is the key word in the sentence.
Listen. But as Hunter was saying, Megalass does it sometimes as well. So, let's settle in here, Dex. You know, obviously we got your background and stuff. There's two main questions we ask, and I'm gonna throw it over to Hunter, not because I forgot exact wording on him, but I know he does know it, so I'm gonna let him handle it.
All right. Whoa. Yeah, let's just get into this. So the first question that we normally like to get into is what got you into esports, and more specifically, esports production.
So, do I want to drop the act that I haven't hosted this for 49 episodes?
We've done this before, but remember, this was a test episode. Remember, this isn't technically a canonical episode.
This is a canonical episode. I'm gonna make a fucking canonical episode.
This one is, but the test episode technically isn't. That's like pre-lore. That's like
two test episode.
There are
2 test episodes.
Yeah, and they don't exist.
Yeah,
they're not real.
Get over it. It's like New Zealand.
Unison.
So yeah. So okay. So let me break it down. So I got into esports much like how anyone normally gets into esports, just watching a lot of stuff on YouTube growing up. Like, the first esport I kind of ever really followed was CS, but that was mostly because when I was in high school, CS was like the biggest fucking game on YouTube. So I would watch people who would just play CS regularly, and I would watch the CS:GO esports events because it was like, oh wow, these are the best players in the world. And at the time, 15-year-old me thought, if I fucking play enough, maybe I can get there. I realized immediately that I could not. But it all kind of settled down a little bit. And by the time I was in my senior, he's going to get Zay. He's going to get Zay.
Yeah, continue. He comes out with a cat.
He comes back with a cat. Right. But it all kind of calmed down a little bit senior year, most of my junior year, where in North Carolina when I went to high school, they had this thing called their senior project, a year-long project starting in your junior year, finishing up in your senior year, where you had to give a huge presentation. And because I wanted to do something incredibly easy, I just decided to say, okay, how you can make money playing video games. And granted, at the time, I was going to more focus on YouTubers and Twitch streamers, or live streamers, and just throw a little bit about something in esports at the end, because it was like, okay, I knew people can make money off, or there's large prize pools in some events. And I kept on going through with that. And esports was something that just kept on coming up in it. And it was something where I normally expected to be about maybe the last 5 minutes of the presentation, end up becoming about half the entire presentation because of how exciting I thought it was at the time. Because again, this is 2016, 2017. Esports was growing, the prize pools were growing, there were big investors, mostly like people who own sports teams, actors, athletes, and just people who own big companies were investing in esports. I was like, this is going to be something where you're going to want to watch. So I go through that. I do my presentation. I think it goes really well. Fun story about that. They had my English teacher, bless her soul. She had the entire class do a test presentation. Y'all, if I have to say that's the worst presentation I ever fucking gave, it would be an understatement. It was goddamn awful. I ended up getting a 97 on that presentation. Second best in my class as well. And everyone kind of looked at me saying like, how the fuck did you get that? I was like, I presented good info. I beat out someone who shadowed a surgeon, which was funny to me. Like you had to follow someone basically, and they couldn't be in your family. I got around that.
Just watch streamers.
No, I got my aunt whose last name is completely different from mine, and just said, yeah, this was my mom's friend from college. And all I did was just get a picture of her, and that's all I needed. They never looked into her. So I screwed through that. So then I get into college, and esports kind of dies down a little bit, at least for me. I still follow it, especially with Owl being very big. And, huge into it at the time. Keep watching it. And then December 2019, my school announces they're starting an esports program. And I'm just like, oh shit. Like, I want to do whatever I can to get on this onto the Overwatch team. Because I thought, hey, maybe I can make the team. Because I kept on telling myself, Overwatch is in a little bit of a weird spot where it seemed like everyone's starting to hate on it. Maybe me being gold could make this team. And like I've mentioned on this podcast before, I have a newspaper article where I talked about casting, where I talked about that trials, and I just sat there and realized, like, oh God, I suck. Like, if I could find the newspaper, I will show it. I will post a picture of it. But I just wanted to be a part of the program, no matter what. So I just talked to the coach and the program director, just saying, hey, what can I do? I want to be a part of this. And they just said, you want to be a caster? It's like, don't know what that is, but yeah. And that's it's not the short story of it, but that's the fastest way that we can figure out how I got into it.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard you, obviously, we've all heard the story once before. But that is nice because it feels like, because we talk about the way experiences are a lot with us getting into esports, and I feels like yours is, to be fair, I think it relates to a lot of people in a way, where people like watch things like the Overwatch League, want to be like, hey, maybe like I can be on that stage someday, or maybe I could play up to a level like this someday. And unfortunately, like a lot of Americans, we realize, we are not as good as the Koreans. We just don't get to that point. But we still very much enjoy the aspect of it all. And sometimes being a fan can be more enjoyable. I think esports, it's weird to say whether or not it is better being a fan or being a participant, because obviously with regular sports here in the US, it feels like it's better and easier, obviously, to be a fan. It feels like it always will be. But esports is different because any mad bastard can go and jump on Overwatch and decide, yeah, I'm playing ranked today. It's go ahead.
You say it's easier to be a fan of a sports team. You're the worst person to talk about that,
well,
Mister.
I've
seen my NFL team win 5 fucking Super Bowls.
I said just sports, not a sport team, just sports. You can enjoy a sport without having a favorite team.
It fucking helps.
Like that.
See, this guy, Huntertain, he's a New England Patriots fan. He's seen his team go to 5 Super Bowls and win 5 Super Bowls in his lifetime.
Actually, no, 7.
6. somewhere in the range of 6 or 7, you know, so one of that numbers.
Look,
and
you
then
he's gone now.
Dex is out of the camera. Dex is out of the camera.
Listen. All I could say is that yes, I definitely can't speak much, but unlike some fans who ran away the moment we became shit, I stuck around. And I kept participating. I kept doing my thing. That doesn't make me a good person by any means, but it makes me better from the people that went and jumped on the bandwagon of the Kansas City Chiefs or the Philadelphia Eagles. That is
So
all.
how's it feel to be a fan of a team whose legacy is dictated entirely by one guy who ditched your franchise for the Buccaneers?
This is true. Was this for the roast, my friend?
That was for the roast. Yes, that was originally a roast line. Yeah.
I was like,
it's not even that. Just
two people ditched this team for the Bucs.
The only reason
two people did.
Listen, the only reason that I know this is because I've seen it on Twitter recently. But Hunter, you got Tom Brady's almost entire career, a few years of fucking bad and mediocrity, immediately into the fastest rebuild in NFL history.
Yeah.
All before the Dolphins made it to a playoff game.
Hunter, and let me also say this for someone who lives in Cleveland. Let me reference back to my brother and father who are Browns fans who watched their team fucking die, come back, and haven't been lukewarm since.
Or me.
What do you
you're gonna have to give context here.
That's the Mariners. That's the baseball team.
Oh, you do.
Seattle Mariners, guys. I have seen them make the playoffs twice in my entire life.
Yeah, but did the Seattle Mariners host Gargura night? Didn't think so.
Gargura's dead.
God damn it!
I mean,
Your Honor, she's just graduated. Thank you.
She's on to college.
I'm gonna hate it when the Dodgers do another fucking HoloLive night and somehow win the World Series for a third straight year. And I'm just gonna say, if they keep doing it every year and winning it, there's a fucking correlation.
Dude, there's a boomer who loves baseball who has like Koseki Bijou merch, and I think that's amazing.
Incredible stuff, really.
It's amazing. Thank God for the USA. But to get back on track here, because we are operating on a limited time and limited budget for that matter. Dex, the second question.
You're getting paid now?
I was gonna say.
Well, I mean,
Gedster, you're paying though. What the fuck,
dude? What can I say? Like, they unionized, and I'm okay with the union, and you were a union busting ruthless host.
Whoa. I'm pro union here.
Listen. I know as a guest you don't quite have the information that us regular hosts do have, but on the bright side, you know, you still have a question to answer, and you can answer however you desire to, Dex. Of course, that would happen to be what keeps you coming back to all this, Dexatron, to esports, to casting, to whatever the hell this has become here.
I mean, like, what keeps me coming back is basically just because it's going to be a recurring thing here. It's the people. I generally love doing this. I have fun doing this. It's given me this voice that I'd never had before, because one, like, if you just met me for the first time, I am the most like maybe anxious person. Maybe anxious is not the right word, but like it takes me a little bit to open up. Like if I am in a public space, if I don't know anyone there, there's a good chance I'm not talking to anyone. Like if a gathering, I have to know someone there. It's like, and anyone who can, I've gone, like any of the conventions I've gone to, like I didn't talk to anyone there until I found someone I knew. And I think the best example is like you go back to Owl Grand Finale in Toronto. I literally didn't talk to anyone until I ran into, I think it was Headrammer, like after the first day. Like I did not talk to anyone in the venue. I did not talk to anyone, and I knew several people there. I just didn't talk to anyone. But this is like again, like the people I work with are the people that I work with are some of the best people in the world. The communities are always so fun. And again, a lot of that's probably because I don't really focus on the communities that often. I don't interact, but I never necessarily see the bad stuff. I always see the fun stuff, which is part of the reason for that. And at this point, I've been doing this now for the better part of, this will be my 5th year overall and my 3rd year doing it outside of my college. Like, this is something I generally love doing. Like, if I could do this for the rest of my life, I absolutely would. And I will do for the rest of my life unless something comes up. And I mean, that kind of goes into the whole thing where eventually, like, we've talked about with other people in the past, like, if they're like, I'll do this for free. I love doing this shit. If there's a paid opportunity, hell yeah, I'll take it. But I mean, I'll do casting if I can every fucking night of the week if I possibly can. Like, this shit's just so fun.
Yeah, and I think everyone here can very much fall into the area. Obviously, most people we talk to at this point fall into the area that it is simply a passion for them. Obviously, we do have that small handful of people that do literally make a living off of this. You think of people like Hot Sauce, like Hippie, and Solomon, who they do this for a living because they had that passion. They dedicated years of their life, who countless nights on top of that, to, because I'm correct. I know I'm correct in all three of those. I'm very, very certain. If not, obviously, you can send your emails to Dexatron.com / I'm no longer a host.
Now send your email. Send your emails to our company email at ftlppodcast@gmail.
We have a company email?
That's the email for the podcast.
Yeah, we have a company email. Yeah.
I'm gonna sign us up to Cryptoscams.
Well, welcome back to this week's episode of For the Love of Prod, brought to you by fucking Bitcoin.
Sponsored by Coinbase.
Yeah, sponsored by Coinbase. Get fucking scammed by us right now.
Wait, what are we selling? Megacoin? What are we selling here?
I'm down to be the face of a crypto scam.
Yeah, I mean, and that means you'd get like not a majority of the money, but you'd get probably the biggest share at that point.
I mean, like, listen, a cryptocurrency can only go up if you think about it, right?
That's true. That's true.
Like,
we're starting at 0.
Exactly. It starts at 0, so it can only go up.
Yeah. Can I at least get like 5% because I was on the episode where we brainstormed it?
No.
Okay.
Well, you'll get 5% of a percent.
Good to know. Good to know.
You're gonna get like a nice lunch and a crisp high five.
I'll take it.
Potentially a handshake.
We could give him a certain amount of Megacoin.
We'll send you a half-eaten Subway sandwich and a half-drank Coke.
Dude, I've got like a $6 gift card to Steak and Shake. How about that?
Dude, there's no Steak and Shake in Spokane, Washington.
I know.
I have a 10-year-old Best Buy gift card in my wallet. I'll just give it.
Dude, I still have a $50
it's gonna be
gift
worth
card
more than the coin.
I still have a $50 gift card to Zaxby's, and there's not a single Zaxby's near me. I won it from a Houston Outlaws giveaway. Like,
I was gonna say, that's like some Houston Outlaws shit. Yeah.
It is.
No, what do you mean? You get like Zaxby's. You could go get the Mr. Beast meal, and then he has to put you in a video. It's the law.
That's true.
Beast Games Season 3 contestant Huntertain.
I can't wait to the day where we just get so desperate for people to click on these videos to the point where we start making Mr. Beast like thumbnails.
Yeah.
That's too much effort for me.
Yeah, fair. I will say something though, Dex, when you were talking about like, you'd be willing to, cast every day, like for free, every day of the week for the rest of your life, you'd do it. That kind of reminded me of like a completely, like not completely off topic thing, but when I had my episode, I talked a little bit about my friend Silas, aka Arbiter, a Super Smash Brothers caster, and at one point he was on Twitter. This was like in his heyday of when he was super active in Smash and super passionate about it and getting gigs at majors across the country and such. And he was saying like on Twitter just how fortunate he feels to be able to go to a bunch of these majors in like on the other side of the country. He went to Japan to cast Kagaribi 13, the biggest tournament of all time. He did the English broadcast for that. That was way after this series of tweets I'm about to talk about, but he was literally saying a lot of the same thing that you were, Dex. Like, I would literally cast majors for free because I just love doing it so much. And I think we can get away with saying that here because, like, there's no fucking money in, like, casting CGL or BPL or anything like that most of the time. But the Smash community fucking exploded at that guy because, oh my god, everyone was like, oh, if you're undercutting other casters for free, then nobody else is ever going to get an opportunity. And that is, I mean, that combined with the Pacific Northwest Smash scene kind of dying, combined with majors everywhere kind of dialing back, Arbiter hasn't really done a lot of Smash commentary recently, and I think that's a real shame because when you have someone that is as passionate for the games that they love and as good at commentary as like you or Silas, I think that deserves to be rewarded. But I mean, over in some scenes, that mentality will get you like put on a fucking crucifix. That's the whole point I'm trying to make here, and I think that's a shame, personally.
And a couple things. First things first, guys, he got us back on track. He's in the top left. See, the person in the top left can get you back on track. It's not always Mega.
Okay, hold on. But no. At no point was it's always Mega. Hunter specifically said it was you and me that would do it.
Yeah.
But whatever.
He's filling the role great. He's filling the role great.
Whatever. Yeah.
The second thing with that, the undercutting thing, and the first time we had someone on who focused in the Rocket League scene, Flash Pandy. Mm-hmm. We talked with him because there was a big thing, because the exact same thing happened in Rocket League that happened in Smash, especially with what you're talking about with Arbiter, where he said like, hey, I'll do it for free. People were so desperate to get the Liquipedia points to try to get their Liquipedia page that teams, like big teams for these majors and qualifiers, were basically telling casters like, hey, we can't pay you, but we will guarantee you Liquipedia points so you can work towards getting your Liquipedia page. Because for so many people, like that's the biggest thing for them, because it makes them seem like someone who is who's professional, legit, someone that you have to kind of take serious. But at that time, when that came out, it was this big thing where it's like all these people were saying, oh no, that would be horrible, that would be awful. And then like it came out like, oh yeah, these are some of those people who were doing gigs like that. They were maybe getting paid $5, maybe $10 plus whatever Liquipedia tokens you would get. I weirdly enough kind of fell into that. But it wasn't I was told I would get Liquipedia points. I don't think I was told I would get Liquipedia points until after I was done. But it was just someone I had done some Rocket League stuff in the past just reached out to me and said like, hey, do you want to come in and cast Rocket League? I was like, hell yeah, I can get out of work early. Yes, let me come do this. And I had I think that year, that Rocket League cast for, I think it was Open Qualifier 3 in North America, was the funnest cast I had that year. But like, it's weird because I think I think for a lot of casts, it's also just knowing your own value. Like, if you're fine doing stuff for free, then hey, it's fine. If you want to be paid, if you're only going to take paid gigs, I always just say, understand there's going to be someone out there who's maybe working a little bit harder than you just doing these free ones, that someone might notice one day and say, let's just get that person over the person we've normally just been getting for these things. So, and again, just getting reps in is I say, just getting reps in is I think is always a good thing with casting, because you don't want to just go from one paid event to 3 months later another paid event without really doing anything.
Respectfully, who gives a fuck about Liquipedia pages? Like, let's be real.
Type shit.
Spectreon has one of those. Like, do you know how easy it has to be to get one? Like, come on.
Me and Hunter have one. You have one.
I have one as a VTuber. Like, listen, respectfully, if you give a fuck about a Wikipedia page, you're stupid.
Listen. I don't have one. I'm listed on various Wikipedia pages across like Rainbow Six tournaments, Overwatch tournaments. I'm sure I'm listed as one on like a Smash tournament somewhere that I don't know about, but like I don't really care.
What?
Like it'd be cool. It'd be cool to be a blue name on Wikipedia, but will I ever get there? Who fucking knows? Who fucking cares really at this point?
When the fuck did you cast Rainbow Six Siege?
Oh. Clearly you haven't been paying attention to my Twitter.
Yeah, he's been doing it a little bit more now.
Yeah.
I guess we can do that a little bit. A few months ago, I'm looking at the Broadcast GG server because I still do that, and I'm looking at the entry level opportunities because making $5 might be nice. And I see a thing that's like, hey, we're looking for a caster for our Rainbow Six League, and I'm like, Rainbow Six? I love Rainbow Six. I want to cast that. So I joined the server and I realized immediately, oh, this is a women's league. And I messaged the TO and I'm like, hey, so you're aware, I am a cis dude. If you don't want me casting, if you want somebody who's actually representative of the population, that's cool in my book and I won't take it personally. And she literally messages back and goes, do you know how dead Siege commentary is? Just fucking cast my tournament. So I ended up casting that tournament. It was called Project Luna, and I met a lot of really, really great people through Project Luna who connected me to people at Midwest R6, Collegiate R6, Xenon Gaming, which is like a tier 3 circuit. I've done a lot of Siege in the last few months, and honestly, I love Siege. I've loved Siege for years, and I've wanted to cast it for a very, very long time. But only recently did I find that first gig that like opened the floodgates, and now I'm like doing it somewhat regularly.
We gotta get this guy a episode of the podcast. There's shit I don't know about him.
Yeah,
get him his own episode.
Yeah.
Here. But we're here to talk about
a lot has happened since episode 23. We'll put it that way.
It's been half a year.
Ooh.
Yeah, but the last thing, going back to what he talked about, especially with the start, you talked about being fortunate enough to do a lot of stuff. It's like I never take that for granted. As well, like fortunate enough to be in the spot I am, working with the people I work with in the leagues that I'm in, and the events that I've done. Like I'll always go back to after the first LAN I did at DreamHack. It was like I kind of went back to my hotel room that night. And it was this weird thing because, like, my brother was there the day of, but he left to go home. So I was sitting in a hotel room by myself, and I just kind of sat there like, damn. I want to kind of celebrate this, but there's no one to celebrate it with. But the only thing that I kind of sat there is like thinking like, man, I just can't believe I'm here. Like, one, I can't believe I'm casting a LAN. 2, I can't believe I'm casting it in a major city. And 3, I can't believe I was casting at like a major event. Granted, it wasn't like a big thing, a big part of the event, but it was still something really big to me. And like, just being fortunate enough to have people who will reach out to you, like people you've worked with in the past, saying like, "Hey, do you want to come in and do this?" It's always like the biggest thing to me is like, say they trust me enough that I can come into this, and no matter what the level is. It could be the smallest league in the world or what was the FTLP thing that me and Hunter did last year. Like having the faith in me to come in there is always just is the best feeling in the world to me when it comes to this.
No.
Yeah, it's dope.
It's a great feeling. I still need to eventually cast Overwatch in person. To the stage, I have only done one cast in person. And that was Smash Brothers. It also happens to be the only time I have casted Smash Brothers in my life. But they didn't know that at the time. I mean, they did know that. I was pretty clear. Like, hey, have you done any events with us before? I'm like, nope. They still had me. So it's like, hey, I was honest. They still had me. So maybe one day. But no, you're right. It is still, even something as small as it was that I did, it's a very surreal experience, and it was the same situation where it was still like a LAN party. So I get back to my hotel room at like 2 in the morning. I sit there. I'm like, man, everybody's asleep. I have nobody to talk to about this experience at all. So I'm just sitting there like, well, I just got to get my shut eye and wait till the next day. By the way, somehow both nights ended up ending with me and Hippie playing ranked. I don't know how how my night ended.
Just fucking
couldn't tell you.
Where are you? Fort Wayne, Indiana?
Yeah, Fort Wayne. Yeah,
which is in a hotel room in Fort Wayne, Indiana, saying "fuck it."
Legit, legit, fuck it. Well, to be fair, I'd been there, and like to be fair, it is like it does go all night. You could stay in the thing all night if you wanted to. Obviously, you just can't fall asleep there because it's kind of against rules and regulations and would be just not very orderly. But no, I totally get that. And hey, hopefully more experiences, more chances will come down the line for things like this because you never know at the end of the day. I feel like all of us have kind of grown in our own way since not just since we started, but honestly since this podcast started in a lot of ways as well. So hopefully, cheers to hopefully more of that. But that being said, Mega, I'm asking if you have any questions because to be fair, we'll probably do those anyway. But you just have anything that you wish to bring up at this time?
I mean, honestly, like it again, it's one of those things, y'all talk about it with like lands and stuff, like, those moments that hit you and makes you realize why we're sitting here and doing all this, right? Like it's one of those things, there certainly are like casters and people in the esport who do this purely because they're like, oh, I'm gonna get a paycheck or what have you, whatever their reasoning may be. But at the end of the day, like passionate people is what keeps scenes like this alive. Um, and it's just like the level of passion that if you can bring passion to the table, that will trump any and everything. And like these three around me are perfect examples of that.
Yeah, I feel that way a lot. Gedster, that you feel a very, very similar way with your experiences?
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, the example that comes to mind for me is at the DreamHack Stockholm recently. Obviously, when the talent lineup for OWCS came out and Uber wasn't on it, a lot of people were like concerned because Uber, I would say inarguably like one of the best, if not the best commentator Overwatch has ever had. And I think a lot of people were a little bit concerned that he wasn't going to be there, he wasn't going to be a part of the show. But frankly, I mean, even just barely hearing his echoing voice during grand finals, Jake is like a master of his craft. And he loves Overwatch with all of his heart and soul. And I think that's the most important thing, really, because I remember when Jake first made the transition over to the the broadcast in I think the 2019 or 2020 World Cup or something like that. I don't remember exactly which year, but it was it was one of those things where I see that move happen and I'm like, yeah, former player, knows a lot about the game. He'd make a good broadcaster. Here we are in 2025, and I think he was, in my opinion, the standout caster of Stockholm. Like, he very clearly loves the game a lot, and I think we're lucky to have people like Uber, like Jake, like Reinforce, who has stuck around for almost a decade with this game at this point. Like,
yeah,
ridiculous stuff.
No, it good.
No, I was gonna say, like,
oh boy,
like Jake was. I think everyone was so like surprised with Jake and his casting because he's done it here and there. Okay.
I think so.
I think he has a bloody nose. I think,
he might got too excited.
Yeah, like I'll say this, like Jake was a very pleasant surprise with Stockholm for me because he's casted in the past, but he's mostly known as that desk personality, and to see that transition very quickly, it seemed, from just being on the desk to being a caster, he did an incredible job. I think, especially because you have to consider he's filling the shoes for like what gets talked about with Uber not being there. You have to basically say like he's filling Uber's shoes, which we mentioned this past, like Overwatch and Uber, I think go hand in hand with each other when it comes to esports, and especially with casting. Because probably a lot of the best moments in Overwatch esports history, I would say probably you think of stuff that Uber's been a part of.
You do, yeah. He's just that synonymous with the brand at this point. Like it's hard to not think of him when you think about casters in Overwatch. You can't not bring up his name.
Yeah, and like reinforce, like he's been doing this for as long as the game has been out. He's played on teams for as long as the game's been out, and like I've said this a lot, and when we've talked about people who want to get into casting, like if you're a player especially, you already have such a head start on some other casters because you understand the game a little bit better than maybe anyone else who's not playing at a pro level. Because you understand the ins and outs. You understand why people are doing that. Yeah, the analyst and the desk will be able to talk about that as well. But you'll be able to have that just little bit more of, like, recognition or, not recognition, credibility, because you were a part of that. I think that's what made Jake really fun, and it's what continues to make him really fun. Because both him and Reinforce still actively play the game, still actively, I feel like, I'm not going to say scrim with teams, but they watch teams scrim. They still play like competitive, I feel like, with a lot of pros. So they know a lot of stuff. And like, again, just anyone who's passionate about esports. I mean, you see them here. We've had them on. Hey, can you stop? We've had a lot of people on this podcast who are absolutely passionate about esports, especially at the level that we're at, where it's like, hey, and kind of goes back to the last thing I talked about. We don't get paid a lot for this. Like, you're either doing this because you're trying to build something up, or you're just incredibly passionate about it. And to see someone who is getting paid at the highest level still be very, very passionate about it is an incredible thing. And I'm not, and this, again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm just kind of dissing everyone else who's casting at top level not having passion. But it's, I don't know how to phrase this without actually sounding like I'm dissing them now.
Right.
Because, like, they might not have ever played at a pro level, but man, you can tell how fucking passionate they are. And like, I'll talk about like Necra with it. Like, she was,
dude.
I have to say, probably one of the biggest Overwatch fans out there as a caster, and because of the fucking community, she's no longer going to cast Overwatch for a little bit. And that's the benefit to Pokemon. And I can tell you this: my brother and all of his friends, huge Pokemon fans, fucking love Necra. They they have told me she is one of the best Pokemon commentators out there. And I basically said, like, I thought she was one of the best Overwatch commentators out there as well. And the fact that she's no longer going to be here is only their game.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, like, I think Necra in particular is one of the most tragic cases we've had in Overwatch, like, broadcast in a while. Like, two biggest tragedies in modern Overwatch broadcasting history: losing Brennan Sideshow and losing Necra. Like, straight up. Like, I mean, Brennan Sideshow, I think I would argue they're the best duo to have ever casted this game. Like, I think you could argue Uber's, like, the best caster. And no shade to Mr. X or anything like that, but I think Brent and Sideshow are the best duo to ever cover this game. Necra, I mean, people have talked about length, who are on the broadcast team, about how hard she worked, about how much she studied, about how amazing she is, like, as someone to work with. And I mean, her presence is going to be sorely missed in Overwatch. I am very, very sad. I had the chance to talk to her in Stockholm. She is the sweetest person. She is the kindest, sweetest soul you'll ever meet. And the vitriol that she received over the last, like, year or so, it genuinely makes me angry. It makes me very upset.
Yeah. Quick sidebar. Shout out to Gedster for getting shoes fucking pod crew or whatever. What the fuck was our face's team name?
Shoes production crew.
Shoes production crew. Shout out to Gedster for getting us on the fucking Face It Twitter account.
Yeah, let's go.
That's true. I did do that. I did do that.
Hey, listen, we are rising the ranks, all right? Listen.
We're rising the ranks of not even being
We're
consistent,
rising the ranks.
baby.
Hey, listen. CGO GOAT runner-ups. Listen, we are rising
I'm
the food
saying.
chain here. We are
I'm
rising
saying.
up the charts.
We should have fucking won.
You know the funniest thing about that that interview? The last question they ask you is, "What's your favorite map?" And my favorite map changes like on a day-to-day basis. And at the time, while I was there, I was like, I think my favorite map is Watchpoint Gibraltar. And I love Gibraltar. It's one of my favorites in the game. Right now, if you ask me that, it's Ilias. It's like it just that answer just changes at least once a week. It's very funny.
I'm gonna be honest. I would have just said probably something like Volskaya and just basically said after that, y'all hate 2CP. Y'all just cowards. Learn how to play the game. I don't care if it goes 27 rounds. Enjoy it.
Oh, that's funny. That's good.
Oh, that's incredible. Oh, yeah. We're starting to kind of enter that time period a little bit, since I know Mr. Gedster has a bit of a heart out to attend to. Oh, Mega, do you have something?
I think you guys have time for one more question before we get into those.
Yeah.
I mean, not really a question. It's just like sitting here listening to everything. Like, y'all know me. I'm very loud and opinionated, and like to just bring it back to the Necro thing for a real quick. Like, I think we should take every single person who is a hater on Necro and put them in the same room, and then put me in that room with a baseball bat. Because
so true.
Like, here's the thing. Because, like, even if you try to actually listen to what the criticisms were against her casting, it's the stupidest shit in the world, because they're trying to say she's too pedestrian. The whole point of a caster is to dumb it down.
Yep.
That is literally the entire point, especially if you know you are casting one of the biggest events, one where potentially people who have never played Overwatch are getting to see Overwatch for the first time. The whole point is you need to dumb it the fuck down. That way they will understand. And she's breaking down these incredibly complex concepts into a way that fucking little Timmy age 6 can understand. And you're sitting here like, why aren't we getting insightfully analytical about the complex shit? It's fucking Malga meta 80% of the time. Who gives a fuck? Fucking, he shot the minigun really fucking well there. He held down both mouse buttons, doing a lot. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, it's so dumb. The amount of hate, and like, Necro is just a massive example in recent memory, but just Overwatch, like, casting in general, just will randomly get so much hate. And, like, it aggravates me because during my little fucking gambling phase, right, tuning into football games, do you know how annoying football commentators are? Sports in general? Like, they actually just fucking waffle about random shit. Like, do you think you think esports casters waffle about random shit? It's literally, they'll be in the middle of a fucking broadcast, like, game on the line shit, and they're just like, yeah, I'm gonna get a ham sandwich about after this. How about you? You feeling like turkey, or like just on broadcast? Like, and then they're like trying to compare that to esports, where you're constantly in the action in a much faster paced environment. And it's still, like, you're just stupid. You're fucking stupid if you actually are trying to take slight with any caster. Like, respect. Unless it's me. You can take slight with me. I'm down for that. I will take all of the hate in the world.
Shut the fuck up. No.
She will attack them right now.
Get listen. It's not a self-deprecating thing. It's I will meat shield. I will straight up absorb all of the hate because I know that these people are fucking stupid. That way nobody else has to get it.
Okay.
Like,
I was gonna say, you and I
so fucking dumb.
I was gonna say, you and I literally casted for the first time yesterday, and I mean, I think we did a pretty solid job of it. I mean, I didn't do amazing, but like you were.
Oh my god! Shut the fuck up! You did fine. Like, this was all day yesterday. Like, I say all day. We did 2 games, but fucking it's just the self-deprecation with this one when literally he's over here beating himself up for like the most random shit that, like, he's bringing up shit. He's like, oh yeah, I'm really sorry about this. I'm like, dude, It was so minuscule, I don't even fucking remember. Like, please, for the love of God, pick yourself up, dust yourself off. It's gonna be okay, champ. Like, it's gonna, like, there's, do you know how much shit gets said in a commentary? Like, realistically, even if you, like, majorly fuck up, no one's going to notice unless it's like, hey, I said the word fucking potato 15 times in a row. Like, I was, actually falling over out of my chair or some shit. Like, no, otherwise, no one's going to notice, like, the tiny little slip-ups and shit like that.
Yeah, to put in a good vernacular for you, Gedster, it's like there's no matter how good a team is out there, there is no MLB team that's going to go 162-0. It's just not going to happen. Everyone's going to lose a few games in there. That doesn't mean they're bad. Yeah, 162.
Yeah, baseball plays 162 games.
Yeah, 162.
Dude, do these people not, like, see their families?
They don't have families. What do you mean?
So what? You sign up
half of their games at home.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're 160. Okay, get here. Let's do some simple math real quick. How many days are in a year?
365.
So then you got 162. So that's you're not at half, but you're at about 40%. Even if half are at home, and those are just the days you are playing games. That is not practice time. That is nothing else.
God.
Mega, that's just the regular season. Let me phrase it like this. The training camp starts a month and a half before the regular season starts.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And, like, it's like, oh, they can go home to their families, that and shit. Like, dog, fucking, what are we doing? Like, respectfully, we don't need to play that much baseball. Do people show up to all 162 games? Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
too.
sure
Every single team is playing 162 games. Like, there's got to be some times the stadium is just empty as shit because people are like, I do not give a fuck. Like,
Oakland
I'm tired.
Coliseum,
It's a Wednesday.
2023.
Like it's just
the lowest
attendance.
The MLB team with the lowest average attendance in the 2024 season was the Oakland Athletics, averaging around 11,386 fans.
No, you're wrong. They're not the Oakland Athletics. They're just
they're the Athletics.
They're just the Athletics.
Dude, they're just the Athletics because Oakland is a team that cannot. They cannot retain any of their sports teams. It's very funny.
No, also shout out to the ownership for the Athletics because it's been widely known they want to move to Las Vegas. They didn't trademark the fucking name. A fan group called the Last Dive Bar, which was an Oakland A's fan group, has the trademark for the Las Vegas Athletics and the Vegas Athletics. They cannot call themselves those names unless they probably pay millions of dollars. Fucking smart people over there at the Athletics.
Genius Oakland fans. Anyways, yes.
Yeah, back on track here. Any last questions before you guys get to your normal questions?
I think we're probably at a point where we can ask for normal stuff because we're starting to hit the wire here a little bit. So
yeah, we're down to the wire.
Yeah, we're down to the wire. So I'll do mine really quick and then move on to Mega, and then we'll go from there. I know you've answered this question before. We talked about it extensively, but for those unaware that did not watch the Legendary Test episode, Dex, we all have gamer tags, usernames that we have within this world. Some of us have stuck with the tried and true for years and years on end. Some of us have moved around here or there. But when it comes to Dexatron, why did you decide on that as your username?
So the funny thing is, and again, like you said, we've talked about this. I didn't decide on this name. For the longest time, I always just played under my brother's gamer tag on Xbox. Played on Xbox. And his was just his first initial, first part of our last name, and then his favorite number, so it was EJed73. There was a part of me at one point where I just said, okay, I'm just going to do the exact same thing, and it's going to be SJed19. And I thought for the longest time that was going to be it. And I was like, the day I get my own Xbox Live account, I'm going to have that be my name. And it just never really happened because me and him lived in the same house, so we didn't need to have two different Xbox Live accounts to pay for two Xbox Live subscriptions. But it all kind of came to a head because my family decided one year to say, okay, we're going to have a 4-person fantasy football league. And I needed to have an email because I couldn't join through my brother's email. He couldn't have 2 accounts in the same league. So he made an email account for me, but he took names that my dad had been calling me, which was just Dex. And my dad, even though he'll just go back and forth on saying, yeah, I just always kind of called you it. I remember him telling me one time, it's like, you know, he would always come home from work and I'd be sleeping on the couch watching Dexter's Laboratory. So he just started calling me Dex all the time.
Mm.
And then the Atron part came from, I gotta assume, it's when I, like, the first Michael Bay Transformers movie. Like, I was very excited for that. And I think around that time, both he and my mom both started calling me Tronathon at some point, just to kind of, like, for some reason. So my brother had to make an email account for me one day, and it was just Dexatron19 at Yahoo. The account's still live, I'm pretty sure. I never use it. So for everything after that, like, I've said it before, my brother is actually the reason I am called Dexatron. Because he had to make an email account for me so I could do this fantasy football league with my parents and him. And ever since then, the only slight change to my username has just been dropping the 19 and just leaving it as Dexatron.
What I did with the 49, so yeah. I get you.
That's it. You know, to be fair, that's pretty reasonable. I still like that story because it's very simple. It's grounded.
It's a good story.
It's a good story. Good story. Good story.
But I love it how
gives the warm fuzzies, all of it.
I love it how this is always the question of, like, hey, this is the name you decided. I didn't decide this name. I just fucking took it and ran with it.
It was bestowed upon me.
Given to me. Like, it also goes back to something really funny about why my real name is Spencer. My parents always told me the stories, like, yeah, your brother said, okay, if it's a boy, it's Spencer. If it's a girl, it's Summer. But only 2 years ago, they finally said, like, yeah, we kind of pushed him towards some names. And that's why it was these two. I always thought it was like my brother just came up with them because, like, for that. But it's like, no, he wanted to name you something stupid. So we kind of just pushed him towards a handful of names. And he went with Spencer and Summer.
Now I gotta know what he wanted to name you initially. Now I need to know.
I forget.
Well, if you ever get that piece of family lore back, we are gonna need to hear about it on episode 100 of the podcast.
True. We're gonna have a nice, like, extensive lore episode.
Whoa.
The never-ending darkness, my favorite.
Yeah. The void.
Shut up for your varmint. I don't have.
There we go.
I didn't have this ready to go. So
interesting theory.
You know, it's interesting, Dex.
I didn't
because I like it. We didn't even say it was my turn yet. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he threw it up way too early.
He pre-fired.
Yeah. Here's the thing. No one like, everyone knows what we're talking about, but no one's gonna see that. Only you guys saw that.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's time we get to that final segment, the new upgraded version of Mega's final question. Mega, why don't you take it away?
Well, actually, before we really take it away, no, hold on, go back. I'll intro us. Thank you very much.
Whoa.
Listen, this is important that I get the timing here. So, like, it's episode 50. You know, we've been around the block for a minute. And Dex, we know that you have tons of hate in your heart. So you have to think back really hard here to a time when you may have been watching Blue's Clues, and I need to ask if you knew that Mr. Salt was the landlord.
No.
Fun fact. Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on. No, I just have to pull up the fucking image I would always pull up.
Fun fact. So have Danum.
Yeah, there he is.
There's our man.
Dex, you see that guy? He's a landlord. Can you believe it?
Mega, I was fucking 4. I didn't know what the fuck a landlord was. I barely knew how to say my own name.
Yeah.
I want you to know that I listen, I like it because I messaged Hunter. I was like, "Would it be funny to bring it back?" And Hunter said yes. But also to add, just because I figured we need some more lore on Mr. Salt. This is probably the last time he'll ever come up.
Probably.
Okay, we're fine.
The two most interesting bits of lore, about him, besides the whole him being a landlord thing. Apparently, the mailbox refers to him as the ever spicy, never dicey king of sodium himself. And I think that's pretty cool.
How white is that mailbox? That's crazy.
That's the straw.
That's a banger. That's a banger. Oh my god. Oh,
dear God.
What a line.
That's powerful. That's powerful and funny. But also the other fun fact that I feel is important to share with the class is that there was a possible reference to Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper featured in episode 11 of the 2022 Korean drama series Extraordinary Agent Woo. When young Woo learns about a divorce case with her colleagues, they use containers of salt, pepper, and soy sauce as the people involved in the case, with the salt referred to as Mr. Salt and the pepper referred to as Miss Pepper.
But
so it's possible the culture is expanded.
Mega, I want you to know that I was like, I felt, on the one hand, in my episode when you had to leave halfway through because you were feeling ill, I felt bad because I was like, oh, I hope Mega feels okay. But on the other hand, I was like, I don't have to hear about this fuck-ass stupid Blue's Clues bit on my episode.
That's
and
crazy.
Now for the episode,
hold up.
Now for the episode that I'm back,
a crazy level of hate.
Okay,
yeah.
I take back everything I've ever said nice about Gedster. The fuck do you mean, fuck-ass Blue's Clues bit? What the fuck do you mean?
Also, Gedster, you're gonna be me for a little bit because that's too hard. That's too much work for me to change that.
What?
All I'm saying, Mega, is that bit should have been retired with Sohab's episode. There was no topping.
We decided to retire it after Sohab. I'm pretty sure
we did.
No, you brought it up for CB as well.
Okay, but to be fair, CB's chill like that. Okay, CB entertains my whimsy.
We love CB.
CB, if you're watching, even though I know you're not because you're busy, can you like marry me, please? Thanks.
CB and her girlfriend Light Rose are two of my favorite people. I love Cassie and V so much.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. There's billions of amazing people in the scene, but like respectfully, if I had to choose one to save, like if like a building was burning down, I'd probably pick CB first. L to the rest of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's understandable.
No, I don't even blame
give you credit.
I would literally be watching as Megalass enters the building, grab CB, and I'd be like burning, my flesh would be peeling off of my bones, and I'd be like,
okay,
yeah, makes sense.
That little thumbs up on the way
out. Actually, like, listen, sitting here and thinking about it, like that, like, listen, obviously don't ever want to be in a situation where you're saving lives, but like, realistically, if I had to pick one person in esports that I knew I could not live without, I hate that I'm gonna say this, but like, none of y'all can banter like Spec.
I was gonna say it's gonna be.
It's
gonna be two people. I was gonna say it's gonna be two people. It's gonna be either Fletch or Spec.
We almost went a full episode of the podcast without mentioning his name.
We've done it several
times, and I dragged it up. I made sure we hit our quota. Don't you fret.
It's pretty messed
up. That's crazy.
None of y'all can banter like him. Like, listen, I need somebody who's going to call me shit, and that I can immediately be like, you're dog shit as well, and like we laugh about it. You know what I mean?
He's British. He gets away with it because he has an accent.
This is partially correct, honestly. Let's be real.
Anyway, my hard cutoff is in 2 minutes, so do we
want
to
say this?
I'm
about to say this has been a pretty good episode, and I like the way this has gone. But Dex, normally when you end these episodes, obviously you do your normal spiel. Really quick, I will say, because you like to do some good old self-deprecation at the end of our 49 episodes outside of this one. You like to do that. You, sir, and I'm sure Mega and Ged will agree with me here, you, sir, have been a phenomenal host to this podcast. You have been a phenomenal caster to work with, and I look forward to another 50 episodes very much so.
I don't shit on myself too much on the
and on top of that, 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 a phenomenal friend. We love you, Dex.
True. He seems. Oh yeah, friends. Yeah.
You're not excited about that one at all.
Yeah.
I never agreed to this friend part.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Mask off moment for Dexatron.
Let's go. All right. But with that being said, thank y'all for joining us for another amazing episode of For the Love of Pride. Make sure to go and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us over on ye old Spotify. And of course, we'll hopefully see you next week where, unfortunately, we don't have another bit for this. We don't have a guest at this time, so you'll know when we know. So thank y'all for being here. We'll see you next week for some more For the Love of Pride. Take care.